Hello guys. How are you doing today? It's another beautiful day. Today is the 15th of December and we're fastly approaching the festive period, Christmas period, and we expect liquidity to start to dry up, right? Good. So once again, we have a few instruments as usual that we are watching and we're expecting price to do its thing. The dollar index for a while now has obviously been on the downside, and this happens to be the lows of the year, right? The lows of the year, and this is obviously forming from the higher time frame. This is obviously forming a big bearish candle. So of course, with just about 2 weeks to end the year, we know that the dollar index is already a big and mighty bearish candle that obviously has swallowed last year's ranging candle. So we should expect price to do another further drop against next year, or we could expect a little retracement and then drop. For the Fibonacci traders, if you use Fibonacci, you could do something like this and then see where it might probably retrace to. But everything still has to do with time, and this is looking at it from the yearly perspective. So of course it's going to take a while to let me say manifest, right? So on the lower time frames that we have now, looking at it from the intraday perspective, we either want to see the market break out to the upside, use this as a form of launching pad up, as this here is an important area that has acted as support and resistance in the past if you look closely, right? And then also if it's going to go down, break out to the lows of this year, retrace, test, and then drop further down. So for this dollar index, we have this area we're interested in and this area we're interested in today. So let's see what the market could give us. And of course, the market could still go sideways today, right? But only time will tell. Now, if the dollar index should push higher, right, that means that the dollar is strong, and then we'll be expecting Euro USD to drop. So either way, dropping Euro USD, then we're looking out for something that looks like this. As we can see, our areas here that acted as support earlier, support, resistance, a bunch of messy here, another support here. It's all about having a directional bias at the end of the day, and then based on what happens, you act accordingly, because the market could also, for the dollar could also become weak, and if it gets weak, that means that the Euro USD will push higher, and then we expect the market to do something of this manner. Because looking at your areas of interest here, you should be able to see resistance. We're expecting the market to break out, test here, and then push higher. So it's always about being ready for the market. Either way the market wants to go, you must always have a game plan. The same thing here for pound USD. Pound USD, we had gaps in the market yesterday, and these gaps in the market yesterday, Sunday open, was as a result of EU and GBP, right, agreeing to continue with talks. I believe the main issue might be the fishing laws. So let's see how that goes. With the gap up, we had the retracement here. So now we wait to see whether price breaks out of these areas here, as you can see. If it breaks out here, then a retracement here and drop. The same thing applies here. If it pushes higher, then we have something like this, looking at this area here, this area here, this area here, right? Your key levels are very important, and of course you need to train your eyes to see the many support and see the many resistance areas that we have. A clean chart that I like is AUD USD, very clean if you ask me. From last week we had this sideways movement here, and of course the market has cleanly in a nice clean pattern has been pushing higher. So also we wait and see whether this will act, this range that we have over here, whether to break out to the upside or to the downside as we have over here. I really like this AUD/USD as it's a pretty clean chart, and we already know AUD/USD and NZD/USD tend to move alike, but not necessarily. As you can see, the structure on AUD/USD is cleaner than that on the Kiwi, but still the same applies. A break to the downside, and then we look for a retest of these areas here, a retest of these areas here, right? Don't forget it's an area and not a price point, so we can box it. Boxes are always good to show those areas that have acted as support and resistance at one point in time, right? Great. So now the dollar Swiss opposite of Euro USD. If we have Euro USD going up, we should have dollar Swiss going down. Everything still has to just do with reacting to what the market does. And when we react, of course, we are reacting because we can see what is on our chart. Always let the chart to lead you. Always let the chart to guide you, right? The dollar yen, not a so clean chart as well, but look at the areas of interest, and then we'll see what we want to do over here, right? Looking at areas of interest, and then we'll be able to have a pretty good idea what the market wants to do here. And you can see the market has been dropping, and then we've been having some highs, then lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and it's retesting this area again. It's a very important area, as you can see. As it's retesting this area, it now wants to break and then push, and then we'll have this. We need to ensure that we wait for a clean break, because it could easily be a fake out, and if the market should fake out and rush back, it's going to trap a lot of buyers here that are just trying to place trades based on the breakout. So in order for us not to be caught on the breakout, it's always good to wait for the breakout, a clean breakout, and pull back to that area. The dollar card, not so clean, but the same structure always applies. Look to your left to look for your support, resistance, historical areas of interest that will help for the future. What we're actually doing is looking at the history to the present to predict the future, right? Gold, the safe haven, not really doing much, but we have our levels marked, right? At the end of the day, whatever price is going to do, we're going to be ready for it, and then we're going to take advantage at the end of the day. We've talked about the dollar index, and then now we have the crude oil, and of course the crude oil has been reacting to the positive news of the Pfizer vaccination that more and more countries are approving for use. It started with the UK. Now this week the US have already started using theirs, and of course other places have already requested for the vaccination as well, right? We have some countries like Germany going into, and even the UK going into third tier lockdown, trying to curb the rapid spread of this coronavirus that has ravaged the world as a whole at large throughout this year of 2020. 2020 is gradually coming to an end, and of course 2021 should be a year of recovery, right? So that it should be a year of recovery. Let's just pay attention to what's happening, and of course we can take advantage of what the market has to offer. So keep on marking out your levels. As I said earlier, AUD/USD is the structure that I like personally, right? And I'm going to wait to see what happens. Either it continues with this trend that we have here, and we can see that the price is taking a rest, is hesitating, it's consolidating, ranging, and then could either continue to push higher or then push lower. So we're just going to wait and see what happens on all of these instruments. Do not hesitate to pull the trigger. Ensure that your risk is well calculated, and of course you have a stop loss in place at the other side of your trade, and then you shouldn't have any issue whatsoever, right? Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for watching. Ensure to watch this once or twice or 3 times or even up to 1,000,000 times so that you can understand what is happening in the market. And of course on Thursday we will update this. That is 2 days from now. We'll update this, and then you will see what would have happened, whether we're able to get something in the market, and of course whether we're able to make pips as well. So if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can get notification on when the next video will be released. Right? From me to you, thank you, compliments of the season, and of course, we will do this again at a later time. Enjoy your day and goodbye for now. Goodbye.